Hello everyone and welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and Monica and Timothy, and we are going to start episode 2 of Spirit Island, Branch and Claw expansion. Now before we jump in, there are a couple things we did wrong in the last playthrough I just want to mention. We're only going to fix 2 things, but one of the big things that we did, and we made the game so much harder for ourselves, is we did the Swedes effect where they would convert a Dahan into a town after our build phase in the building areas instead of in the lands that they explored. We did it right for the first round, but the round 2 and round 3 we did that wrong. So yeah, made it harder, that's fine. Trying to fix that would be insane, so we're just going to leave it as is. The other thing we did wrong has to do with the strife that's over here on this side of the board. Strife needs to be connected with a specific invader. So this strife here is connected to this town. If that town gets destroyed, the strife goes away. So this strife here should have been connected to one of the cities in here that we destroyed. So this should be removed from the board. Fortunately, it didn't have any effect on the playthrough, but just letting you know for going forward. The second thing we did wrong is one of our event cards allowed us to generate 1 fear for every beast that we placed in a location with an invader. Well, we forgot to give ourselves the fear. That we can change, and we want to, because we're going to go 1, 2, and that's going to generate another fear card. We're going to have 3 fear cards at the middle parts of this round, and we still gain 1 more fear for a total of 3. Yeah! Let's now jump into the playthrough. So let's first look at our growth options. I think what I'm going to do for my Keeper of the Forbidden Wilds is do 2 different activations to gather some power cards. I'm going for major power cards for both of them. I have that wetlands area that's got 2 cities, 3 towns. Yeah, I need something. Otherwise, we're going to have 2 blight going out on that land. I do, so this is a new one that I'm doing here. I do have to spend 3 energy to do this, but then what I can do is take a presence, which I'm going to take from here, so I can now gain 5 energy around, and place it in a land within range 3, and it has to have a land without blight. That's it. So yeah, I'm placing this on the board. I'm going to come up to the north and hang out with Monica. I'm going to come over here, so hopefully I can start helping her with the mountains area over here, once they start doing stuff in the mountains. Here are my first 4 cards I can choose from. They are all slow, so they're all not going to help me with that specific wildlands right now, or wetlands. So I think what I'm going to do is grab the awesome looking card. Volcanic Eruption. It costs 8. Okay, that's a lot of energy. But it generates 6 fear and does 20 points of damage. It has to be used within range 1 of where I have presence in the mountains. And I just put presence in the mountains. I mean, was that perfect or not? So I'm totally grabbing this one. 20 points of damage, 6 fear. Yeah, I'm taking this. Here are the next 4 major power cards. And looking at these, this one allows us to defend 20. I don't know what it is with me and 20, but I like it. This will work, and it's fast. So I think I'm going to grab this one. Hey, and it gives us sun, which is great. So we're going to grab this one and discard these 3. Now, normally when I grab a major power card, I have to lose or forget a minor. But don't forget, we just found a fist-sized ember glowing steadily. And because of that, the spirits do not need to forget when gaining a major power. So I just get to add this to my hand and don't have to lose anything.
For my turn, I want to pick as a first growth action the reclaim cards. So I have to pay 1, and I can reclaim all my cards and gain 1 major power card. Let's see what I get. Those are the 4 cards I got. This one would be amazing for Colin. That's a bummer he didn't get it. So I think I will go for this one. Even though it's not perfect, it doesn't have the elements I need. It will help me to get take care of the wetland there. And not to mention, Comment advised us to go for more fears, and I think he's absolutely right. So that's what we're going to do with this card. Finally, as my second growth action, I'm going to gain 3 energy to power that new major power card I just happened to have.
Unlike the tree over there, I don't generate 5 energy around. So I think I'm going to use the growth to get me some more energy. So I'm going to place 1 presence. I'm going to take this one, hope to increase my energy a little bit into the land. I'm going to place my presence here and hope to protect that land.
Moving to the power phase, I'm going to gain 5 precious power, which is awesome. Both Timothy and Monica, only 2. All that energy that I just produced, I'm going to use in the play and pay for cards action phase. I'm going to play this Indomitable Claim and Fire in the Sky.
As for my turn, I'm going to play those 2 cards. So this one for 4 energy and this one for 1 energy.
I have 2 fast actions that I'm going to play. It's going to be this one for 1 coin and this one for 2. During the fast action phase, I'm first going to play Sudden Ambush. This allows me to gather 1 Dahan. So I'm going to gather it from here into here. And with it, I'm going to take 1 of my presents, which is one of my special abilities. Then, because I have a shrine here, I'm allowed to defend 1 away from that shrine into this land, and I defend for 6.
As my action, I'm going to use Paralyzing Fright. So it has to be 1 range from a land, so I'm going to use this one as a target land. And I'm going to put the Paralyzing Fright, in here. So it generates 4 fears, which is kind of cool.
Woohoo!
Boom. And that's pretty much it. So unfortunately, because I use that Paralyzing Fright, I was not able to activate my innate powers. Because all my innate powers requires animal, plants, and so I don't have enough of it. But that was worth it, the fears and defending that land. So with Paralyzing Fright, the invaders will skip all action in target land this turn.
For my fast action cards, I have Indomitable Claim. So Indomitable Claim allows me to place a presence on the board within range 1 of my presence. I can place it in a land even if I could normally not do that. And then I defend there for 20. So let's just see. Let's count them up. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Normally they do 12 points of damage. I can block all of that. That is awesome. And I got another presence on the board. I grabbed that from my energy or presence track, and now I'm going to be generating a plant each round as well. The second card I'm playing is Fire in the Sky. That is going to allow me to just generate 2 more fear. Yeah, we're just going to try and fear these invaders out, I think. 2 more fear, and then we get to add a strife within range 1 of one of our shrines. So I'm just going to place this here. Let's move to the event phase. We have Outpaced. Humanity has always been faster than you, but the invader's terrifying speed catches you off guard. Oh. Each spirit chooses independently for each of their slow power cards played this turn. Stay steady and slow. Discard the power card. Gain 1 energy plus the card's printed energy cost. Whoa. Or work to match their pace. Pay 3 energy or destroy 2 presents. You may choose to resolve the power card now, instead of during the slow action phase. Well, the only person that played a slow power card is Timothy, and so he can't pay the cost. So he's going to gain 1 energy plus the 1 from the card itself, so he'll gain 2 energy back. That's actually nice, but we don't get to generate fear, which is a bummer. Now we have Lingering Plagues. On each board, add 1 disease. Ignore disease during builds this invader phase. Although this isn't going to help us this round, we're going to place these in locations we think in future rounds it's going to be useful to us. So we're going to place 2 in mountains, because we haven't drawn a mountains card yet, so there's a chance we could do that. And we haven't drawn a jungles in the Invaders 2 section area either, so we're placing ones in those lands where we already have some buildings there. Finally, we have Raids in Force. Each spirit chooses a different land where Dahan outnumber the cities or towns. Each Dahan there does 1 damage. Well, looking at this, you guys, we only have 2 lands where this is going to go into effect. Up here, so hey, at least that's the sands. They're now not going to build there. That's really nice. And then I have one over here in the wetlands, but that doesn't matter. They were going to get killed anyways during the Ravage step. Not the greatest event for us, let's be honest, but that's how it works. Now we get to look at our 3 precious fear cards. And remember, we're at terror level 2, so we get to look at the middle level here. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. Invaders take 1 damage per Dahan there. Seriously? That's going to be almost useless. Well, looking at the board, the only place that has Dahan and invaders is over here. And yeah, they do 1 point of damage to a town. Woohoo! Okay, that was a terrible card, but that's okay. We'll move on to the next one. Hopefully it's better. Each player removes one explorer or town from a land with beasts, disease, or at least 2 Dahan. Looking at the board, I think Timothy, it's not even a question, removing from here because they won't build. I'm going to remove this town over here just because after they do the Ravenge this round in the wetlands, that strife would have been removed, and then I'd have to worry about that. No, I don't have to. And Monica's going to grab this town and remove it out of this area. Well, that was definitely better. Still not amazing, but I will take it. Third, retreat. Each player may push up to 3 invaders that are either explorers or towns from an inland land. Ooh. Timothy is definitely going to push these 2 invaders out of the sands. Once again, they're not going to build then. Awesome. I'm going to come over here. Now, this is kind of crazy, but I'm going to push all 3 of these into this land, into the wetlands. But that means they're attacking for a total of 16. I'm defending for 20. What? I love being a tree. Okay, and then Monica is going to push this invader right here into this mountains just so that we can kind of clump these invaders together, hopefully making it easier to take them out. Now we're going to move to the Invaders phase. They're going to ravage in the wetlands, then build in the sands, and then explore the mountains. Oh yes, the mountains. That's our first mountains card, I think. We'll start over here. This wetland, Timothy is preventing every action in this land, so nothing happens here. Nothing happens in this land, nothing happens in this land. I'm defending for 20, nothing happens here, nothing happens in this land or this land. Monica is preventing up here for 6, so that's blocking here, and then way up here there's nothing there. So the Ravenge did nothing. Woo! That's pretty good. Now we move to the build phase. They are going to build in the sands, and they're going to build and get this token. Oh, no. That is a 6. So they're going to get their first ability. We'll look at that in a second. They're not going to build here or here or here. Monica prevented over here, but they are going to build way up top another town in this area. And then finally, they're going to explore into the mountains. Now, if you look here, they're not going to explore in this mountains at all because there is no town or city or water adjacent to it. But they are going to explore into here, and they are going to explore into here. They're going to explore into this location. They're going to explore into here, and they will explore in this region. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of my wilds in the mountains. Oh, and I think I missed one. I think I missed this one right here. Well, the invaders found a rope woven out of the wind. Powers do not gather push invaders unless the spirit spends an extra energy per power card. Oh, so that is 6. So they've got the 6. We've got what, 5 and 7? Yeah, I think we have 5 and 7. Now we move to the slow action phase, and although we don't have any slow power cards because we lost them from the event, we still have our slow innate powers. So I am going to activate my spreading wilds. I had 2 suns, so I can push one of the explorers from a target land per 2 suns that I have. But I have to pay an energy now to do that because they have that rope. So I paid an energy, and I'm going to be able to push, and then I do have 1 plant on my board, and so if the target land then has no explorer, add 1 wild. I don't want them to find this scenario token in case it's another one of those powers, so I'm going to push them out of the mountains and then place a wild.
My innate power, which is a slow power, allows me to gather up to 1 Dahan per air. I have 2 airs into my target land. So I'm going to target this land with my presence here, and I'm going to gather 2 Dahan, and I'm going to take this 1 presence with me so that I have a shrine in this land here. Part of me really wanted to gather it into this land and find this token, but there's no invaders there. I'm not worried about the invaders getting in, and I'm really concerned about this sand land up here. So we're going to hopefully prep for that land up there and worry about finding the token later.
That'll end round 4. As you can see, we have at least started to clump the invaders into small areas or sections of the island, and that's usually a good idea, because then if you can get stronger powers, you can wipe them out with one card in those areas. So I'm hoping that this is a good sign. Yeah, they're going to be harder to push and gather because of their rope that they found, but I'm still feeling pretty good. Let's start round 5. For this round, I'm going to pick reclaiming my cards and gaining 1 energy, and then placing out my presence and gaining another energy. And yes, I'm going to keep moving up this energy track. I want energy. So I'm going to place this presence on the board. I'm going to 2 for 1 here. What I'm going to do is place my presence in this location. Now what happens is whenever I place a shrine, I push all Dahan from that land. So I will push this Dahan into here where we have a scenario token. Ah, man, it was blank. Okay, hoping for a number. I was hoping I was going to be as cool as Monica. Yeah, she did 2 in 1 round. I'm not that cool.
Not a chance.
As for my 2 growth actions, I'm going to place one of my presents. I will take this one, so now I have animal to use this power more easily. And then I will use this growth action, which will permit me to get 1 major power card, good one I hope, and gain 1 energy. Those are the 4 major power cards I got. And I'm very happy because for the first time I think in the game, I finally get a thematic one that matches my spirit. Tigers hunting, yes. So it's amazing. Let me add animals, all that, I'm taking it. Finally, I place 1 presence. So remember, I can only place a presence where I have beast or where there's a jungle. So I'm going to place it here. Who knows, maybe a jungle card is going to come up. I don't think we had a jungle card yet in the 2nd era, so it's likely to have one. Let's just place it here.
For my growth phase, I am going to reclaim my cards and gain 2 power cards. I've decided to gain 1 major and 1 minor power card. Looking at these 4 major cards, I've decided to gain Infinite Vitality. It increases the health of my Dahan as well as lets me prevent putting additional blight into the land. For my minor cards, they were actually a little bit disappointing. I think I've decided to take this Fleshrot Fever mostly just because it has an air. It's the only card here that has air, and I need more air in order to do some of my innate abilities. So from these 4, I think this is the one I'm going to gain.
Moving to power gaining phase, I'm going to gain 7, and Monica and Timothy will each gain 2. I think it's time to have a little bit of fun. What do you guys think? We're going to do a Volcanic Eruption, which will create 6 fear and 20 damage. And then we'll do Regrow from Roots. That only costs 1. Both are slow, though.
As for my 2 cards, I'm going to play Drift Down into Slumber and Tigers Hunting. Excited to try that one.
I'm going to pay for these 2 cards, one of them which is the one I just bought, and then we're going to move right into the fast action. So this is a fast action card. So we're going to go ahead and do that. This allows me to have Dahan with +4 health while in the target land, and then whenever blight would be placed into that land, we instead just leave it on the card. So I'm targeting this land here so that we don't place any more blight into that land when that obviously would be ravaged. So it has to be 1 away from a presence, a shrine. So I have a shrine in this land here, so I can target this land.
So everything I do this turn is fast, so my innate powers and my 2 cards. I'm going to begin with Drift Down into Slumber to defend here for 4, so they are not going to ravage the land. And then I'm going to use my innate powers. So first, I need to gather 1 beast from an adjacent land. I'm going to gather it from this land, and then I count damage, and I'm going to push it there. Finally, I'm going to use my Tigers Hunting. So I generate 2 fears right at the bat, and then I add 1 animal in the land. So I'm going to add 1 animal here, and I can gather up to 1 animal. So boom, another one here. And then my 3 beasts are going to hit for 1 damage each, and so I can take down that city. Boom, 2 fear. We are 1 fear away from our next fear card.
Moving to the event phase, let's see what we get. we have, because we have a healthy land, barely, search for new lands. In each land with at least 2 explorers, push 1 explorer to an adjacent land without invaders. Looking at the board, it looks like here is one of them. So we just recently did the sands, so let's push into the sands here. Same with these ones. We'll push this guy into the sands, although that's a scenario token. I'd say we'd do the wetlands instead. We've got 2 over here, so let's push this one into the jungles over here. We have way more than 2 over here, so let's push into the sands here, and then over here we'd have to push into the jungle, definitely over here. And I almost missed one. We'll do this one and push into the wetlands right here. Now we have Distant Hunt. On each board, push 1 beast to an adjacent land with no blight. It does 1 damage to invaders there. We can just have those follow the people that we just moved and take them out. Timothy is going to grab this beast token, move it into this wetlands, and take out this explorer. I'm going to move my beast from here over to this land and take out this explorer. And Monica is going to move this beast into this land and take out this explorer. Finally, we have Canny Defense. During Ravage, in every land, defend 1 per Dahan in the land. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Now moving to the Invaders phase, since we are literally just 1 fear from getting our next fear card, we're going to Ravage in the sands, then build in the mountains, and lastly explore in the jungle. Okay, and something you guys we forgot to do last time to look at was at the end of doing the explore in the mountains, we needed to see if the invaders ever outnumbered or equaled the amount of Dahan in the mountains. Well, that didn't happen. There was nothing there. There was no Dahan that had been outnumbered, so we're fine. But at the end of this round, we need to make sure to check the jungle, and if in jungle locations there are Dahan equal to the amount of invaders, one of those Dahan turn into a town. Starting over here for ravaging, they'll ravage for 3, Timothy's defending for 4. Over here, no problem. Over here, no problem. Up here, this defender does 1 point of damage, which will damage the Dahan but not kill it. And then the Dahan, take them out. Sweet. And then up here, technically, they would generate 2 blight, which would be terrible. But Monica played that card to prevent all blight from taking place, so we don't have to worry about it. Now we're going to build in the mountains. So first, over here, they're going to regenerate that city that Timothy just took out. Down here, nothing happens. But now in both locations here, they're going to build a town, which is bad because that means they get another scenario token. Okay, good. It's blank. Jeez. And you guys, they should not have placed a town here because there's disease. That prevents the next build. So we'll remove this and remove that town. Thank goodness. And that's actually the same with up here, which actually I'm a little bit bummed about. I wish that they actually were building there, but they're not. They're going to build in this land right here. Finally, they're going to go and explore in the jungles. And so we'll start over here. They'll definitely explore in this jungle, in this jungle, in this jungle. They'll explore in my jungle. They'll explore in this jungle, in this jungle, and unfortunately they explored in every single jungle. But of course, Timothy reminds me, there's a wild here, so they don't explore in this one. Thank you, Timothy. You can see, you guys, it's not difficult, but it's sometimes hard to remember what all the tokens do and where they are located. And you know what? He just pointed out this one too. We can prevent that explore here as well. Sorry, you guys. There we go. Looking at the board now, we can see that none of the invaders are equaling or outnumbering the Dahan in the jungles areas. So we don't lose any Dahan. That's actually really, really nice. Now we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to use my Volcanic Eruption to immediately generate 6 fear. So that is now going to create our first fear card for the next round. We're also going to deal 20 damage and add 1 blight. Okay, and it has to be from a land that I have presence in a mountain and it's range 1 from that presence. Then we're also going to remove 1 blight on the board, thank goodness. I have presence here in the mountains. Range 1 is over here. I can take out this city and all 3 of these explorers, and I generated 2 fear. The only problem is I also generated one blight. So I'm going to place that blight right here on the board. Next, I'll remove one of these blights over here because I'm within range. One, it has to be a jungles or a wetlands. Remove one here and put it back on our healthy island card.
I'm going to start with one of my innate abilities. So I have an animal element, which allows me to gather up to 1 Dahan per air that I have. I have 2 air, so I'm going to target this land and gather 2 Dahan. Now, I'm going to play my manifestation of power and glory, which generates 1 fear, and then each Dahan deals damage equal to the number of presence in your target land. I apologize. I meant to pull these presence with my Dahan. That's one of my abilities, is I can move presence with each of my Dahan. So now I have 2 presence and 2 Dahan. So each Dahan deals 2 points of damage or 4 points of damage. So I'm going to take out this city here and one of these explorers. That generates 2 additional fear.
That'll end round 5. We're looking okay. We had really clumped them together last round, but then that event pushed out those explorers. So we'll have to see what we're going to do next round. This next round, we're going to move into level 3 invader cards. So it's going to start getting interesting. Let's do one more for this video. Let's do it. For the growth phase, I think I'm going to grab these 2. So I'm going to reclaim my cards and gain 1 energy. And then I'm going to gain another energy and place another presence out on the board. I'm going to place a second presence in this location because I want to start working on this area, I think.
For my 2 growth actions, I'm going to first reclaim all my cards. I'm going to pay 1 for this. And I'm going to gain 1 major power card, hoping for something good. And then I'm going to add 1 more presence. I'm going to try to have 3 cards a turn if possible. Here are the 4 cards I received. They're not very good, but I think sea monsters would be the best pick out of them. Let's just take it. Finally, I'm going to use my power, my special power, to kill one of my presents and replace it with a beast. And then I'm going to add 1 of my presents in the mountains there, hoping to do something about those mountains.
For my growth action, I am going to choose to put 2 presents out on the board. Now I have to put them in lands that have Dahans, and I'm going to put both of them just 1 target away from, 1 land away from where I already have presents. I want to be able to play 3 cards this round, so I'm going to take both of my presents from this line here. I'm hoping to spread down into the lower land here and help out, so I'm going to put both of my presents into this land here. And note that it has Dahan in it so that I can place it there.
We now generate our energy. I'll generate 8, and the other 2 will generate 2. The 2 cards I'm going to play are Sacrosanct Wilderness and Indomitable Claim.
Those are the 2 cards I'm going to play this turn, so both fast and adding animals.
All 3 of my actions are going to be fast as well, so I have actually used up the entirety of the rest of my energy playing these 3 cards. I'm going to move directly into the fast action phase, so I'm going to start with this elemental boon, which I'm going to generate 3 different elements. Well, I have to target a spirit, and they can generate 3 different elements of their choice. So I'm targeting Colin. He has asked for a mountain and for fire. And then I also wanted a sun, and so since he doesn't need the 3rd one, and I get to use them as well, we're going to generate a sun as well. First, I'm going to use my sudden ambush to target this land here. I then gather a Dahan, so I'm moving a Dahan into here, which then destroys 1 explorer. I'm going to take that guy out. Then in that same land, I am going to defend for 3, and along with that, my words of warning says, during Ravage, Dahan and target land deal damage simultaneously with the invaders.
For my 2 fast actions, I'm going to do this Indomitable Claim, and since Monica gave me a mountain, I have 2 suns and 3 mountains. So I'm going to pick an area that has invaders. So first, we're going to generate 3 fear. And then in the location that I'm going to place my additional presence, we'll defend for 20, and all actions will be prevented for those invaders. I'm going to place my presence, and I grabbed it from my energy track. So now I'm going to gain 9 energy around. I'm an energy junkie. But then they're going to prevent or not do any actions in this land. So I'll mark that like so. And of course I defend for 20. With my Sacrosanct Wildness, I'm going to push 2 Dahan, and I'm going to push them into this land. And then I can do 2 damage per wildness there, or add a wild token. Well, they have wild there. I'm just going to have them do 2 points of damage, take out this town, and generate another fear. We just need to keep generating fear. And now we have generated another fear card. So we're going to have 2 this round.
For my first action, I'm going to use my innate powers. So unfortunately, I didn't have 2 plants, so I won't be able to damage with my innate powers, but that's okay. So I'm going to gather 1 beast, and that's pretty much it for the innate power. Then I'm going to use the Guardian Serpents. And the Guardian Serpents is going to allow me to put 1 more beast. It's getting crowded there. And then I'm going to do the Tiger's Hunting and add another beast. Those invaders should be worried at this point. I'm creating 2 fears with the Tiger's Hunting. And then I'm gathering up to 1 more animal beast with it. That's a lot of beasts. And then each of them are going to do 1 damage. So it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damages. It takes out the town for 2 fear. The city, sorry. And then the town for 1 fear. And those 2 explorers. Sorry, only 1 of them. Oh, I almost forgot. I need to push 2 of my beast. So I'm going to do it. Push 2 of them there. And then I'm going to use the power that's at the lower part of the Tiger's Hunting. I need 2 sun, 2 moon, and 3 animal for it. And I can damage 1 adjacent land with without blight.
Now we move to the event phase. And we have, since we have a healthy island, or a healthy land, well-prepared explorers. For the rest of this turn, explorers have +1 health. Yeah, that's like the best event we've seen so far. Okay, Beast Prowl. Each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present and moves to an adjacent land if not. You guys, I think this could not have been a better event. Timothy was amazing because how we read this is it says each beast generates 1 fear if there's an invader in that land. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fear. Now, all these other ones that are not in a land with an invader are going to move. We'll have this beast move to here, this beast will move up to here, and this beast will move into here. And I almost forgot, we'll move this beast into the jungles here. We now have Coming of Age. On each board, add 1 Dahan to an inland land with a Dahan. We'll place 1 Dahan here, 1 Dahan here on this board, and 1 Dahan here. If apparently he wanted to dance. 1 Dahan here on this board. Now we move to the fear phase. And you know what, you guys? We just got to terror level 3 thanks to those beasts. So let's reveal our first card. Each player may replace 1 city with a town or 1 town with an explorer in a coastal land. Looking at the coastal lands, we definitely want to do that here. We'll want to do that over here. Now, I believe we're going to lose that strife, but that's okay. We'll place the town there, and we'll remove this one and place a town here. That is an awesome fear card. Our next fear card, we have Destroy all explorers in lands with cities or towns. Each city destroys 1 town in its land. This is another amazing fear card. We're going to lose this explorer, this explorer, let's see, this explorer. All the explorers in this land over here are gone. This explorer's gone. These, is it just 1? I think it's just 1, right? So this explorer. Oh no, it's all. Oh my gosh, it is all. I think that's it for all of the explorers being eliminated. Then each city is going to destroy a town in its land. And that's destroy. So we're going to generate 1 fear and 1 fear. So that's 2 more fear we're going to generate. And we're still not done with the fear cards. Our third and final fear card. Come on, just eliminate 3 cities. That's all we need. Each player adds 1 strife to an invader. For the rest of this turn, invaders have -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. We're going to go ahead and put that strife with the 3 cities that are on the board. That means they will not be able to do any damage to us the next time that they are activated for ravaging. Now the invaders are going to act. So first they're going to ravage in the mountains, then they're going to build in the jungles, and then they are going to explore the jungles and the wetlands. Looking at the mountains, down here I prevented everything. 1 point of damage, nothing. Nothing here. Monica, are you just...
I'm defending for 3.
Awesome. So then they'll still attack and generate another fear to take the town out with the Dahan. Here, they're doing 1 measly point of damage. They're probably so scared from these beasts. And that's it for the ravaging. For building, we start over here, and there's a disease. So we'll remove the disease, and they do not build there, which is great, because they would have built a city. That would have been bad. They're going to build a town, though, in this land. They're going to come over here to the jungle and build a town in my jungle. What are you doing over there? And they are going to build a city. Bummer. They're going to build a city right here. And then they'll build a town in this area right here. Then the fun part. They're going to do a lot of exploring. So let's do jungles first and then wetlands second. So they're going to definitely explore here and here and here for the jungles. And then they're going to explore back in here for the jungles for me, the jungle here, the jungle here, and the jungle here. Then for the wetlands, they'll explore here, they'll explore in this region, they'll explore in this region, they'll explore here. They will not explore here because they will not explore here because there are 2 of these here, so the wilds prevent that, and yep, there's another one here. Golly, it's hard to see all that. So all of those actually did not show up. Then they would explore here. That will be prevented. And they won't explore here because no one is adjacent. They also are going to explore here and here.
With the elements that I have from my card, I'm able to do a new innate ability. So I'm able to now do this one here with 2 suns and a fire. I can destroy 1 town for every 2 Dahan in the target land. That allows me to take out one of these 2 towns, generating an additional fear in that land. I also had 3 air and an animal, so I can gather 1 Dahan per air. So I'm going to target this land and gather 1, 2, 3 Dahan, allowing us to look at this token. And we found another ability.
Yes! We have found a leather sack with its mouth sewn shut. Whatever that is. But look at this. Choose 1 land, remove everything in it from the game. What we're going to do, we really want to get rid of those cities. So we're going to take this land and remove everything, including the blight from the game. So that blight does not go back onto our healthy island card. It's gone. But at least it clears out that jungle because they're going to ravage there next round. Thanks to Monica, I can activate both of my innate powers. So first, I can push 1 explorer, and then in that land, I can also place 1 wilds. Then I can also do 2 damage and destroy 1 Dahan in a land that I already have my presence in it. I'm going to do 2 damage in this land to destroy this city and generate 1 more fear. There's not a great place where I can do spreading wilds, so I'm just going to push this one from my land into the mountains. I can't place a wilds because there's still explorers there. We have now completed this round, round 6. We have exactly 30 fear to be able to fear or scare these invaders off of our island completely. Either that or we just need to eliminate 3 cities. Which one's going to come first? We're feeling good, but you never know with these event cards. Hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. We'll see you in the next video. To start off with for our growth phase, I'm going to grab my 2 favorite ones. I love my energy, so I'll gain 2 energy. I'll reclaim my cards and place out a presence on the board. I'm going to place my presence right here, and what that's going to allow me to do is push all 3 of these Dahan out, and we're going to search here. Man, I was hoping to get another power one. Still, pretty cool.
As for my 2 growth actions, I'm going to gain free energy. I will need it. And then add some presence on the board. And being able to play free cards, finally. So I'm going to add my presence in this jungle, but I'm going to change it to a beast right away. So here we are, and not a beast.
For my growth action, I am going to choose to add presence and gain 4 energy. I currently have no energy, so unlike Colin, who generates 9, I need to pick some up. I'm going to take my presence from here, which allows me to reclaim 1 card every round going forward. I'm going to place my presence in this land here. See, we're all hanging out together.
Now we're going to gain our energy. So I'll gain 9, and Timothy and Monica will each gain 2. Now we're going to pay and play our power cards. So I'm going to pay a total of 12 energy to do Indomitable Claim and Volcanic Eruption.
Here are the 3 cards I chose. So we're trying to rush for fear victory. So the 3 cards I chose are all about creating fear. So hopefully we can get there. So Sea Monsters, Thief Gleam from Darkness, Prowling Panthers for 7 energy total.
These are the 3 cards that I'm going to play. 2 fast and 1 slow. I'm going to try and put forth a little bit of a defense while Colin and Timothy generate a whole bunch of fear. I'm first going to use Sudden Ambush to gather 1 Dahan into this land here, moving 1 of my presence along with it, creating a shrine in this land. That will then allow me to defend for 6 in this land here, preventing a double blight. As part of my Sudden Ambush, this Dahan takes out 1 Explorer.
I'm going to play my Indomitable Claim card and simply place another presence here so I can defend for 20 in that location. Yeah, that's just going to prevent some more blight coming out on the board.
My only fast actions are going to be my innate powers. So first I'm going to gather 1 beast here, then do damages, and then push 2 beasts there. And that's it.
Moving to the event phase, we will draw our next card, and we have Putting Down Roots. On an inland land on each board, replace 1 explorer with 1 town. Okay, there aren't a ton of options for us here. So I think what we're going to do is replace this one with a town. We're going to replace this one here with a town, and then unfortunately, we're going to have to replace this one with a town, and now that one is going to ravage. Ugh. Now we move to Stricken. Invaders do not ravage in lands with disease or strife. Well, that doesn't matter. All the jungles are clear, so bummer. Drive off the interlopers. Each player may push 1 invader or town from a land with Dahan. Oh, we're going to push this town to here and this town to here, and we'll push this town to here. That way they don't explore in those locations. Now we move to the Invaders Phase, and this is where we're going to have some blight. They're going to ravage in the jungles, and then they're going to build in the jungles and the wetlands, and then they're going to explore in the sands and the mountains. Ow. Looking at the jungles, no issues here. Here, Monica is defending for 6. 2, 4, 6, plus 1 is 7. Just enough. Here, this invader does 1 point of damage to this Dahan, but the Dahan takes him out. Over here, I'm defending for 20, definitely fine, but this is our issue. We're going to place 1 in this land, 1 blight, and then, you guys, we totally forgot to reveal this token, but we knew it was blank because we've already found all 4 of them, so that's fine. But over here, we're going to place the last blight that we have, and now we go to a blighted island. We now, since there are no blights left on this healthy island card, we flip this over, and we have a pall upon the land. Immediately on each board, destroy 1 presence and remove 1 town. Wow, that's not terrible. And then we're going to place blight 3 per player. And then if there's no blight left here, we lose. Here's all our blight. So now let's go remove presence and towns on the board. Over here, Timothy is going to lose his presence and we'll lose a town over here. I'm going to lose a presence over here and we'll take out this town. And then Monica is going to lose a presence here and we'll take out this town. Now let's move to the build. So jungle, nothing. Jungle here, build a town. Jungle here, nothing. Wetlands here, since there are more towns than cities, another city shows up. Then here, nothing happens in this land. Over here, nothing happens in this land. But here we do build, and it looks like it's going to be another city. Perfect. Just what I want to take care of. Then we would have a town in both of these locations, but there's disease, so the disease prevents that. Nothing in this land and nothing way over here. And then here we have building a city, and we have building a city in this land. We'll also have to build a town right here. Finally, we're going to explore the sand and mountain, and I'm just going to do it and show it to you when it's done. Ta-da! Okay, so now the invaders are done, and now we're going to take them out with some fear.
So I'm going to generate a ton of fear with creating beasts and also destroying some towns and cities. Let's go. I'm going to begin with my teeth gleam from darkness. And so if the target land is both beasts and invaders, I generate 3 fear. So I'm going to target this one. Then I'm going to do my prowling panthers and add 1 fear and 1 beast here. Finally, I'm going to activate my sea monsters. I'm going to add 1 more beast, getting crowded again here. And per beast, I'm going to do 2 fear and 3 damage. I even do 1 more damage per blight there. So I'm going to generate 14 fear just with the first part of the power. So it's going to generate 2 fear cards. We just need 1 more to win the game. And of course, I also generate 3 damage per beast for a total of 21 damage, which is going to take out everything. So 1 fear, 2 fear, 3 fear, and 5 fear. Boom. So it's 5 fear on top of the 14 for a total of 19 fear.
As Timothy was playing around with his beasts, I think I'm just going to end the game here with a volcanic eruption. You can't get much better than that. I'm going to generate 6 straight fear and do 20 damage. And it has to be within range 1 of a mountain where I have my presence. 6 fear plus 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 additional fear. This will then generate our 3rd and final fear card, and we have automatically won the game. That is awesome. However, we do have to place a blight in this location. No wonder. Here you can see our fear cards are gone, and we have victory. And that is Spirit Island with the Branch and Claw expansion using a scenario, an adversary, on the thematic side of the board. Yeah. I think our brains fell off during this playthrough because it is just so much to think about, but wow, is it a lot of fun. It adds a ton of complexity, a ton of things that are moving around on the board, but it is so enjoyable to play it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all at the next stop.